Kadam Golo Bonerun Koduma Bom
What is Majuli best known for? For being a natural paradise covered with trees and lush paddy fields. For its rich Vaishnavite culture, preserving its heritage through satras and traditional practices of art, literature, dancing and theatre, clay pottery and mask making, or its ancient art of hand looming to make Assamese tribal patterns. The world's biggest river island, Majuli is traditional in its culture and values. Surrounded by the mighty Brahmaputra and accessible only by ferry, Majuli is home to multiplicity of ethnic tribes amongst the Missing, Deori and Sonowal Kachari tribes. While Majuli is a haven of peace and culture for travellers, every passing year underlines the fragility of life for the locals who live on the island. The frequent and violent floods not only erode the island and threaten its future, they also wreak havoc on the livelihoods of the people of Majuli. In these circumstances, 48-year-old Deepa Rani from the missing tribe sustains her husband by doing what she loves the most.
Majuli jadmor pore asu yate jadmor 3:30 bajar pra utho uthi kini moi first to silai kam korisilo 60 tokar pora 100 toka manu khoi uthar agote moi kori pelai diu.
Deepa Rani is the youngest of 8 siblings. As it happens, stitching was her favorite activity in childhood. Stitching or silai may seem like quite the chore to many, but for Deepa Rani, it was the forbidden fruit. At 13 years of age, she stealthily satiated her appetite for stitching by running several experiments on skirts and frocks using her sister's sewing machine. Little did she know that later in life, she would upskill 36 girls in what she considered only a hobby.
Baido silai kam kori asile. Baido jetia gusi jai, moi tetia moi kagos kati kini kagos tu silai loisilo agote. Ekhon horu hura frock aro skirt teneke banaisilo lukai lukai. Baido tu machine tu subole nidi beya kore bole. Teneke silai silai baidor jitu kata kapur bahi thoka ebur ako kati kini horu horu first skirt ekhon banalo tar bisot frock banalo teneke olop hikilu.
When she heard about USHA's Silai School in Majuli, Deepa Rani joined the training program to enhance her income. After 7 days of training, she opened her Silai School. Now she earns Rs 8,000 a month from the Silai School. What brings her the most joy is watching her skills spread through her village thanks to her students.
USHA Silai School jetia training disile titi amak eta machine or parbur keneke bhal koribo lage ba keneke khojabo lage hetu bikhoye amak hikaisile jetia training or jitu hikaisile ei guti kini moi obigota palo thorok mor sorot egoraki ekhon gamar par egoraki mohilai silai training to hikise hikar pisot ei mohila goraki usoloi tar machine ekhon loise machine kon fitting kori di dibole jaunte titia usor suburia bilake ahe ahute mokoi ei baido ahise ei baido goraki mok hikaisile baido goraki etia mo machine to sabole ahise thik koribole ahise machine bur to beya hoy thake thik koribole ahise mo thik koribole jao
2013 sonor april mahot moi Deepa pa training losilu mane schoolor ahi pelai prothom mo machine to dhoriboi jana nasilu Deepa bai beji khawole hikaisile tar bisot machine to keneke start koribo lage bhorit keneke maribo lage sob hikale tasot hikwa pasot mor ghorot machine nasile taba Deepa bai muk kole toy hodai yale ahibi mo machine to hikai meli dim tasot toy sadharan siloni bilak mupa hikilobi tasot moi hodai Deepa bai ko amote 2 ঘন্টা Deepa bai সময় দিছিলো বা দীপাবাই তেনেকেই মোক প্ৰথমতে কাগজ কাটিবলৈ দিলে, কাগজ চিলাবলৈ দিলে। তাৰপাছত মোক কাগজটো চিলনিটো ভাল হোৱাৰ পাছত কাপোৰত দিলে চিলাবলৈ। 3 মাহৰ পাছত এটা এক্সাম হ'ল। এক্সামটো হোৱাৰ পাছত মই ইয়াৰ পৰা এখন ডিপ্ল'মা পালোঁ। ডিপ্ল'মাখন পোৱাৰ পাছত মই OBC মানে ফাণ্ডৰ পৰা ডিপ্ল'মাখন এপ্লাই কৰি পেলাই মই এটা মেচিন পালোঁ। তাৰপৰা সেই মেচিনটোৱে মই ঘৰতো চিলাওঁ, ঘৰতো চিলাই মেলি পেলাই তেনেকৈ মোৰ ওচৰৰ মানে নবৌ আছিলে এজনী, নবৌগৰাকীকো মই শিকাইছিলোঁ। তাৰপৰা নবৌ তেনেকৈ উপকৃত হোৱাৰ পাছত নবৌকো এটা তেনেকৈ ইয়াৰ পৰা ডিপ্ল'মা লৈ পেলাই মই এটা মেচিন আনি দিলোঁ। দীপাবাক আমি বহুত সন্মান কৰোঁ। দীপাবাক লৈ পেলাই আমাৰ মানে গোটেই ওচৰৰ সীমা মানুহে দীপাবাক বহুত সন্মান যাছে। দীপাবাই শিকাবলগীয়া শিকিও আছোঁ আৰু দীপাবাচত আমি আগলৈও শিকি থাকিম বুলিয়ে ভাবি আছোঁ।
Prolonged problems of flooding, river erosion and lack of connectivity have affected the economic development of the tribal people who live on Majuli. Deepa Rani belongs to a flood-affected marginalized indigenous community herself, but her efforts are backed by the USHA Silai School program and Rural Volunteer Center Assam, whose goal is to provide livelihood in the remote rural areas of India. She believes that teaching sewing enthusiasts gives meaning and structure to her life.
In Majuli, we are presently directly working with 10, but this is a Silai school. So these schools provide the skills to the more and more down the line. So ultimately it is, so the skill building is coming up with the, basically with the women's and the, basically not prominently with the women, also the young girls also, and even in some cases adolescent girls also. So that income generation avenues of the women and the girls is expanding fast. If we look into our works, then we focus on 3 goals of the sustainable development goal. The first one is no poverty, second is zero hunger, and third is the gender equality.
USHA Silai School model is one of the best model for women empowerment, because they don't have to go outside of their villages. They can run the Silai School being at their home, and this way they can earn and also look after their families. We are trying to open more schools, and we are also trying to give them some other income opportunities also. Recently also they when this in Azadika Amrit Mahotsav, when and this in Har Ghar Tiranga concept, so they have made lots of flag, and they are also earning a lot.
What makes a successful Silai school? Finding a venue and stocking up on sewing machines, scissors, chalk boxes, rulers and yards of cloth, among many others. But what drives an establishment like this is not just cloth and skills, it is intention. The simple intention of empowering thousands of women and connecting them to opportunities, piecing their dreams together with their sewing. There are over 30,000 USHA Silai schools in 17,000 villages spread across 600 districts in India, from the world's largest river island in Assam to a small tribal village in Ladakh. The coming alive of the dreams and aspirations of the women of India are what transform this simple intervention into a lasting legacy. Kargil, it is so much more than just a theatre of war. Amidst the apricots and apples, walnuts and freshly brewed kava, a group of women are preparing to start their day with their best smiles. The women have just been through the USHA Silai Schools' first residential training program in Kargil. The 9-day-long Swavalamban residential capacity building program covered all aspects of machine repairing, stitching and life skills.
आप जानते हैं करगिल और पूरा लद्दाख पहले बहुत ज़्यादा कट ऑफ होता था, 6-6 महीने कट ऑफ रहता था, तो उस हिसाब से एक्सपोजर हो या बाहर की चीज़ों के बारे में पता होना हो वो यहाँ पे है नहीं। और दूसरा यहाँ के वुमेन folk जो है काफ़ी ट्रेडिशनल और कंजर्वेटिव कल्चर होने की वजह से पहले ज़्यादा इतना इन्वॉल्व नहीं होती थी बहुत सारी चीज़ों में। तो जिस हिसाब से यहाँ पे ट्रेनिंग प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज़ किया गया है और इनको बताया गया है कि आप आगे जाके एक सिलाई स्कूल खोलिए और 20 लोगों को एक साल में ट्रेन कीजिए फिर से। तो अगर 25 लोग और 20 को ट्रेन करते हो साल भर में 500 हो जाएंगे और वो आगे नेक्स्ट ईयर करते हैं तो 10,000 लोग ऐसे ही हो जाएंगे। और एक मुझे लगता है कि इकोनॉमिक इंडिपेंडेंस होना वुमेन के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर बढ़ती है और कॉन्फिडेंस भी बढ़ता है उस वजह से।
बेस से हम 3 गुना ज़्यादा, ठीक?
Tribal women, with their inherent talent, have abundant creativity, all of which is overlooked and buried due to the lack of opportunities.
तो जहाँ तक आएगा ना वहाँ तक उसको।
Given the remote nature of the location and the relative lack of exposure, the women were hesitant in expressing themselves and presenting their work. Usha and Siddhi took it upon themselves to bring these women out of their villages and upskill them, in addition to teaching them soft skills.
पहले मैं थोड़ा बहुत स्टिचिंग का काम पहले से करती थी, पर उतना नहीं जितना यहाँ पे अभी मैम ने भी हमें सिखाया कि बुक, शर्ट्स, जेंट्स कुर्ता, स्कर्ट और भी बहुत कुछ हमें यहाँ पे सीखने को मिला। साथ में सॉफ्ट स्किल्स का सबसे ज़्यादा मुझे वो ज़्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग लगा क्योंकि उसमें हमारे कॉन्फिडेंस को ज़्यादा प्रेफर किया, मतलब उसको आगे लाया सबसे ज़्यादा हमारे कॉन्फिडेंस को। इतना हमें कॉन्फिडेंस मिला कि हम खुद के पैर पे खड़ा हो सकें।
From 2018, we have started work here in Jammu Kashmir, and now we are moving towards the Ladakh. And in Ladakh, we opened 24 Silai Schools, and now our target was Kargil. This time, with the support of SIDBI and with the support of Government Degree College Kargil, we planned and we opened 25 schools here. We want to provide them opportunities for the women so that they can engage themselves in the other source of living, in other skills, so that they will be independent.
ट्राइबल वुमेन को एम्पावर इस ज़रूरी करना होता है क्योंकि इनको नहीं पता हो कि दुनिया कहाँ पहुँची है। ये लोग वहीं पे एक छोटे से गांव में मतलब होते हैं, खेती बाड़ी करते हैं, इनको नहीं पता होती कि दुनिया कहाँ पहुँची है। तो इन तक क्योंकि इनके घर में ना टीवी होता है ना कुछ होता है, इनको ये चीज़ें नहीं पता होती है। घर पे आराम से मतलब ऐसे ही बैठे, जब ये लोग यहाँ आए आपस में मिले तो ये खुल के बोलने लगे। इनको अच्छा लगने लगा मतलब टाइम स्पेंड करना। फिर जब ये यहाँ से जाके ये हॉस्टल में स्टे कर रहे हैं तो वहाँ पे भी ये बैठते थे, खेलते थे, आपस में बात करते थे। तो ये चीज़ है।
Tribal women has always been our focus. Even when these women stay in areas which are very difficult to reach, have language and cultural barriers, we've made special efforts to reach out to them and have helped them open their own USHA Silai Schools. We also kind of ensure that these schools are sustained with the help of our implementing NGO partners who are present even in these remote, difficult to reach locations.
"80 kilometers from Kargil lies the village of Parkachik. It is one of the many villages from where trainees arrived in Kargil to start their journey of entrepreneurship. Mansoora is the first woman in her family to have left home and travelled outside for 9 whole days. In a break from stereotypes and tradition, her in-laws and husband supported her decision to join the Pusha Swavalambhan Silai School program. Ever the introvert, Mansoora was initially hesitant in speaking to her peers and clearing doubts about stitching, but her teachers and friends ensured that eventually it became a very enjoyable experience for her.
हमारा फैमिली 7 नफ़र है। हमारे शौहर उधर पढ़ता है, मैं खेती बाड़ी का काम करता है, वो गाय शाय ले जाते हैं ऊपर, फिर मैं खेत में वो हमारे घर में खाना शाना बनाता है सुबह। फिर मैं पहाड़ पर गाय के साथ जाते, फिर वो थोड़ा काम भी बाद में मैं आकर के फिर वो 7 बजे आकर के झाड़ू शाड़ू करता है, फिर बाद में टाइम है तो मैं सिलाई करते। मैं हमारे गाँव में एक बड़ा स्कूल बनाऊंगी ताकि हमारे लड़कियों को हमारे गाँव को फ़ायदा मिले।
As Mansoora returned to the village, her friends rushed to help her with setting up the machine. In the tradition of the Purik tribe that Mansoora is from, the head of the family offered prayers to God and inaugurated the special occasion. Mansoora is a woman of ambition now, who is determined to pass on her skills to the stitching enthusiasts of Parkachek. The societal values of Ladakh have leaned more towards a conservative culture with minimal female participation in day-to-day decision-making activities. With changing times, increased exposure, education and training programs, such like USHA's, women are actively participating in a cultural exchange of ideas. This only strengthens their entrepreneurial skills. Mansoora's role is no longer limited to taking cattle for grazing. She is no longer only the woman in the background who prepares noon chai for her family in the morning and sweeps the house once they have all left. Mansoora has blossomed into a full-scale entrepreneur in 9 days of training. She is a woman on a mission to leave her stamp in a community, teaching young girls to be self-sufficient like her. Nearly 2,500 kilometers away, in the village of Uparbeda in Mayurbhanj, Odisha, this is how Salma Hemram starts her day by feeding the cows. Salma lives a few houses away from the paternal house of the President of India, Draupadi Murmu. Attending to the cattle has been Salma's daily routine for the past 12 years. But now, with Gram Uttan and USHA, new avenues of employment have opened up for her.
हिसाब से मैं यहाँ पे सिलाई सिखाने आई हूँ, तो आप लोग मुझसे अच्छी तरह से सिलाई सीखोगे, ठीक है?
She's getting trained at the USHA Silai Center along with 15 other women. The training program takes into account the special needs and customs of tribal women.
सार माने कहले जो सिलाई सेंटर को जीवा पाई जो आमर उपरबेड़ा पंचायत सार मु पकईली फर्मटा को तापर मिलिबो न मिलिबो सेटा मु भाबु नथिली जो मिलिबो तो भलो कथा न हेले नाही एते बड़ गाँ ना जाओ मते मिलला भलो लागिला खुशी लागिला मते सिलेक्शन करिले ए सिलाई सेंटर रे सिलेक्शन करली मु सिलेक्शन हेली तो मते मशीन भी मिलला आ मु भाबिली जो हम गाँ रे मु ट्रेनिंग भी दे पारिबी.
The process of reaching out to the women to include them in the USHA Silai School training program was not easy. The NGO Gram Uttan had to prepare a list of the women who might benefit from the training the most in consultation with the head of the village.
महिलाएं हैं जो पहले से ही कुछ सिलाई सीखते हैं और उनका इंटरेस्ट है जो सिलाई स्कूल ओपन करने के लिए वो महिलाओं को हम सिलेक्शन करते हैं, उनसे जाके मिलते हैं, डोर टू डोर हम विजिट करते हैं. उसके बाद वो शॉर्ट लिस्ट एक बना के हम USHA से शेयर करते हैं. और जो फाइनल हो जाता है जो सिलेक्शन प्रोसेस, उसके बाद हम ट्रेनिंग भी ऑर्गेनाइज करते हैं. ट्रेनिंग ख़त्म होने के बाद सब महिलाएं घर में जाके सिलाई स्कूल ओपन करते हैं. जब ओपन हो जाता है हम हर महीने जो महिलाएं हैं जो कितना महिलाओं को सिखाए हैं, कितना रोज़गार करते हैं, ये सब मॉनिटरिंग हम करते हैं. हर महीने ये रिपोर्ट हम USHA को शेयर करते हैं.
Usually, only one woman is selected from one village. For this process, USHA meets 2 to 3 women who have shown interest in sewing at one house. In the meeting, the women are explained how the training will change their lives and how it will provide them with a better tomorrow. A form is shared seeking basic information and simple answers regarding their interest and knowledge about USHA and sewing. After this assessment, the selected candidates become eligible for this training.
इस साल जो है हम लोगों ने प्लान किया था कि मयूरभंज में जो आदिवासी महिलाएं हैं वो हमारे रायरंगपुर ब्लॉक और कुसुमी ब्लॉक है, उन महिलाओं के लिए कुछ ट्रेनिंग आयोजन किया जाए और इसलिए हम लोगों ने जो है ग्रामोत्थान से कहा था कि वो महिलाओं चयन करें और हम लोग यहाँ ट्रेनिंग उनको दें। तो यहाँ मयूरभंज ज़िले में जो कुसुमी ब्लॉक है यहाँ हम लोगों का एक ट्रेनिंग शुरू हुआ है।
USHA Silai Schools have helped lakhs of women carve a niche for themselves and become self-sufficient despite being from remotest of areas. It's nothing short of a revolution that empowers women through economic opportunities and gives them a sense of self-worth.